Welcome back. Shout out to my new subscribers. I really appreciate you. We're going to hit the celebrity stuff tomorrow. These are some quick hits for today, some recaps with updates and all that. And we just doing what it do. And you know what? I'm going to do a cash giveaway for Christmas, even though I don't celebrate pagan holidays, but we're going to do that. So this is a recap. And I just found this in my stuff and I said that this will be a quick hit. The Bishop versus Trump. Episcopal bishop lectures Trump while earning taxpayer millions to bring migrants into the U.S. She is out of order for real. She earned 53 million for bringing these illegals over here. Episcopal Bishop Marianne Buddy's sermon to President Trump during an inaugural prayer service, coupled with her church's advocacy for humanitarian immigration programs, reveals a hypocrisy, one that could be seen as self serving and even a conflict of interest. That's because the federal contracting arm of the church, Episcopal Migration Ministry, EMM, is paid to bring in people on resettlement programs that Trump has temporarily paused and targeted for reevaluation. The EMM budget figures for 2024 are not available yet, but in 2023 it earned 53 million from various taxpayer-funded government programs to resettle 3,600 individuals. That's because the oh, okay, I just read that. Oh, I didn't know I had that twice. And this is her. So you see what just look at the picture. I'm not going to say nothing, but that's her. EMM sponsors 6,400 individuals from 48 countries in 2024. The leading nationalities were Afghans under a special humanitarian program, refugees from the Democratic Republic of Congo, and others in smaller numbers from seven dis- distant special resettlement programs. There even is a contingent from Vietnam. True, EMM resettles fewer than 10 individuals from Vietnam annually, but it raises the question, why, 50 years after the end of Vietnam War, are we still running a taxpayer-funded program to help people immigrate from Vietnam to the US? And actually, Vietnam doing quite well because it's becoming a tech hub. India is no longer going to be the tech hub. It's Vietnam. Shoot, Nigeria moving into the tech. And shoot, I can't think of the other country. Unlike everyday immigrants, these new arrivals receive government assistance and, most importantly, are immediately eligible for all forms of welfare, such as Medicaid and cash assistance, on the same basis as a U.S. citizen. Ain't that something? But it's because they refugees and they didn't go through a jungle to get here. Further, they can immediately sponsor friends and relatives under a recent Biden expansion of refugee resettlement program. The Office of Refugee Resettlement was projecting 656,500 new arrivals in 2025. Trump, I'm so glad you canceled that bullshit. I'm so glad. Who will fall under its care. Clearly, this is a program widely out of control. In a wild understatement, a 2012 Government Accountability Office report quotes an official note noting that funding is based on the number of refugees they serve. So affiliates have an incentive to maintain or increase the number of refugees they resettle each year rather than allowing the number to decrease. Since EMM's ability to lobby is restricted, the Episcopal Church itself, being a separate legal entity from EMM, lobbies in DC for more programs that benefit EMM. EMM brings in LGBTQ refugees and asylees in a special federal refugee program started during the Obama administration called Preferred Communities. The program pays a premium over standard refugee settlement for contractors that resettle refugees experiencing social or psychological difficulties, including emotional trauma resulting from war or sexual or gender based violence, survivors of torture, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer refugees who are HIV positive, so they can go ahead and spread it around the US, I guess, populations with physical disabilities or other medical conditions. Then there is the public private partnership program, misnamed matching grants. To get $1 of Department of Health and Human Services money, EMM must contribute just 10 cents along with 90 cents worth of used cars, furniture, and monetized volunteer time. When the program started out, it really was almost a true match of $1 of grant money for each dollar contributed by the contractor, but no longer. So much for attempting to incentivize private charity. Public money has pretty much driven out private money in the all resettlement program. The Episcopal Church also earns a commission for collecting on travel loans made to refugees resettled. How it works: the U.S. taxpayer funds the International Organization for Migration, which loans money for airfare for the refugee's flight to America. If the refugee pays the interest free loan back, the church pockets 25% of the money. If the loan is not paid back, no one is worse off except the taxpayer. Right, so if you don't pay it back, it's just a wrap. According to its own financial reporting, the Episcopal Church has at least one government funded position. Email questions about the responsibility of this position were not answered. Of course, it's not fair to question the Episcopalians alone on this. Their resettlement contractor is the second smallest of 10 contractors in the industry. The United States Conference of Catholic Bishops dwarfs EMM. Forbes reported that USCCB affiliate Catholic Charities USA, which has its hand in all aspects of immigration and seems to get money from every government agency except NASA. They get money from everywhere. Received a 1.4 billion in taxpayer dollars in 2021. That's 68 times more than EMM Catholic Charities. Wow, got that year. It was never intended that the sponsoring organizations, formerly known as volunteer agencies, would be purely federal contractors with all the behavior toward incentives, money, and influence peddling that this brings. No, not to mention questions of church state relations, which are never raised in context. Any retooling of our humanitarian immigration programs must put the bulk of responsibility back on sponsoring entity and limit new arrivals access to welfare. I'm so thank you, Trump, for ending this bullshit. They need to go the fuck back home. Go home. And we're gonna get off into that another day. As for encouraging the church to practice true sacrificial charity, Bishop Buddy may have put its best when she said in an interview with Rachel Maddow, The first and primary role that we have is to lead by example. Damn, I got a lot of articles on her. What to know about Marion Budd, the bishop who upset Trump. It's not the first time that Claire has publicly disagreed with Trump, but it's become a striking moment in what is usually a strat and scripted event. Let me see. I'm not going to try to read all this. Let me see. Let me make one final plea, Mr. President, she said. I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. They are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Hey, some who fear for their lives. She said the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals, calling them good neighbors and faithful members of religious communities. Go home. The Trump administration has already issued executive orders rolling back transgender rights and toughening immigration policy. Trump and J.D. Vance looked disgruntled at times as they sat in the front pew with their wives. Vance raised his eyebrows and said something to the second lady, Yusha, who stared straight ahead. At the White House later, Trump said he didn't think it was a good service. Damn. In an interview with Associate Press, Buddy said she would continue to pray for the president as is custom in Episcopal worship. I don't agree with many of his values and assumptions about American society and how to respond to the challenges of our time. I strongly disagree, actually, but I believe we can disagree respectfully. She oversees 86 churches across Washington, D.C. and Maryland with 38,000 members. Wow. She is the first woman to hold her church position. And I'm not going to be reading all that. I'm ready to go to bed. She graduated from University of Rochester and Virginia Theological Seminary. She said, I'm a mom, a grandmother. I really care about people in the community. Let me see. No, I ain't reading that. All right, I'm gonna show this video and I'm done. And we done. Shoot, it's 112. Like I ain't gotta get up. Oh shit. Like I ain't gotta get up. Oh my god, I hope it must be on this phone. Yep, here we go.
Hey everybody, y'all remember this bishop? It was lecturing Trump during while she was in the pulpit.
This is the conservative twins.
Whatever you want to call it. Don't tell me she's getting paid. Well, look at this. Episcopal bishop lectures Trump while earning taxpayer millions to bring migrants into the U.S. And I'm pretty sure these migrants are not legal migrants. Well, let me read the article. According to the New York Post.
No, we don't want you to read it. I just read it.
Sermon to President Trump during an inaugural prayer service, coupled with her church's advocacy for humanitarian immigration programs.
I just read it.
Welfare, such as Medicaid and cash.
Yeah, I just read this. All right, I can delete this. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. Please hit that like button. I'm out. We're gonna do celebrity news tomorrow.